All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
They'll start on the ground. It's Ito Smith. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Check back 50. I got you, son. Slam. Hey, watch it.
Play action. It's Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
He's coming, double up. Deuce. Check nickel.
From the gun, Jackson. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. 20, 10, 5, and he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Joker. Whip. Watch the whip.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the Saints 4-yard line.
Smith is the lone man in the backfield here as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Now it's Jackson. This will be caught at about the 5. No gain there, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And if you're going to pass down here, you better get that in the end zone.
I agree with you totally, and as we both know, the field's already condensed. There's just not a lot of space, so you've got to create some by getting some people downfield into the end zone. If you want to throw it short, you've got to have some movement, some room in order to do that. That one didn't work.
Come on, set. 18 Gator. Watch one.
Here's Smith. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Done. 180. Watch the twist.
On 1st and 10, Goff. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. And he is the NFC reigning offensive player of the week. You got to think, all the guys that take the field each and every week, that's not an easy award. Always has to feel good to grab.
It has to feel great because it separates you, at least for a week, amongst your peers. And for him to separate again, he has to have the same type of a game. That means being explosive off the line of scrimmage and catching everything that comes his way.
And it brings up third down.
Cut. Right 20. Right 45. Come on.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Well, this is the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Runs like that might get him another award.
Yeah, thunderbolt right out of the gate, huh? How about that, hitting the defense hard early? And, of course, carrying the momentum from last week into this week's game.
Off play action. Here's gone. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Shaquem Griffin, he was relentless there as he hits home for the sack.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go.
Hey, let's go. Let's go, Brown.
Goff now looking to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now it's gone. And that is incomplete.
Are we on the same page here, partner? Because I think they had the right idea. Just take what you can get on third and forever.
Yeah, in real life, I'd say yes. It's just these video games are tempting. You want to go downfield with it.
I like the way you've evolved.
Yeah.
You know, you've learned how to play it the Madden way.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Jackson now. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Ready up. 57 the mic. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
After the penalty, it's Smith. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. It's a gain of 7 on the ground. 2nd down coming up. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
Let's go now. 50 the flag. Here we go. Tight end right. Tight end right.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
Check 3. Check 24. Check 24.
On third down, Jackson. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-opening opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. They'll toss it to Smith. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
They run on first down with Jackson. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Play action. Now Jackson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Matt Flanagan, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Falcons push further out in front. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And the lead grows to 10-0. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away.
Here we go. Here we go.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they got it 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Gone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Goff. He's got the hook up here on the comebacker, complete. A gain of 22.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. But there's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
On first down, it's gone. He'll find his man on the comeback route, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
First down, Saints.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. They'll run. This is Kamara. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Hey, lift, 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 lift.
Here's Kamara off the draw. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Saints on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
5. Hey, I 7.
Out of the gun. Gone. And that will be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. A 55-yard attempt, normally you'd say well within his range. A little surprised he came up short.
And he knew it immediately, didn't he? They are so calibrated, aren't they? They can tell the touch, the feel. When they put the foot to the ball, whether it's going to be good or not, he knew immediately he didn't have that one.
They begin with a run by Smith. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
25, check 25.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan in there for a milestone sack as that moves him past Hall of Famer Michael Strahan, who finished his career with 141.5. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Hey, check 24, check 24. Check safety, check safety.
From the gun, Jackson. He gets it to Brown, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion.
Here we go. Touchdown. Back to pass. 49, check 49, check 49. Look. Check. Hatchet.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 46-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Goff now looks to throw. And he's going to find his man. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense. It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply, if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
1st down, Saints.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Gall. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Gall. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 42 yards.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They go play action to Jackson. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, they run with Smith. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all. As we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman. Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd in inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. Now gone. Going long for Coates. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
3rd and inches, they just hand it to the big battering ram there. That's football 101, isn't it? That's bread and butter. Turn around and hand it to the big fella and let him get forward for a first down.
To throw is gone. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. There's gone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Gone. Going for the deep ball. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the 2nd half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
On the draw, this is Smith. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And finding the tight end Hooper. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. Going down the middle, and it's complete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Jackson on first down. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway.
Let's go. Let's do it.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. An explosive 38-yard pickup. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Going to give this time to the tailback. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This one from 46 yards out. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
You better be ready. Don't be scared of it.
From the gun, Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Wide, get wide. Check.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. And the pressure gets to him again. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. On 2nd and 12. Goff looking long for Thomas. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
14. 45. Hey, Delta. Here we go, G. Get off the field. 45's the mic. 45's the mic.
From the gun, here's Goff. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game? The ball comes out, and this one's going to go out of bounds, so no recovery, but on fourth down, a change of possession anyway.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. If ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Again, it's Smith. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a third down.
It's now third down and 6.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Hey, alert 3, alert 3. Tighten up. West.
Check 50, check 50. Hey, check Mike 50. Mike is a 50. Check Mike 50. He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
He can run for it, and he will. They get the first. The decision to run on third and medium winds up being a good one.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Shoot. Show him up. Check. He's crashing. He's checking crap.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Eli Apple. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Go. Let's go.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. A first down carry for Smith. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 21-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Watch the pass.
They go back to the ground with Smith. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch out. Hey, switch gears. Switch gears. Kill.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. That one goes for 24 yards.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Now Ito Smith. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Check, 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 check. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Chance. Let go.
Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Strip that ball.
Jackson throwing again. They'll set up the screen to Smith. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4.
Kill. Go. Kill. Turn up. Pick the edge. Go.
Jackson from the shotgun. And he's got it. Got his man on the end round. Complete. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Smith. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. The 20. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. So a big turn of events there. This defense makes the play. They return it for the score, and now they have the lead.
So much for ball security for the offense. Playing with a lead in the 2nd half. They give the ball up, and all of a sudden they're behind.
Big-time fumble. The extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That's fielded in the end zone. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On the counter, it's Smith. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the 40-yard line.
Set, hut. 60 out low. Max 50. Stop your whining. Watch twist. Watch on go. Kill. Shift.
Throwing is Jackson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Now they try the right side here. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a third down.
We go tonight. 180. Hey, kill. Here we go. Value three. Hey, exit. Check 45 to Mike. Check.
Back to throw. Gone. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
65, 36. Slam. Kill.
Hey, turn it up.
Back.
Now Jackson operating from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The inside linebacker, Danny Trevathan, gets the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Switch. He's checking. Crash.
Check 50.
To throw is Jackson. Throwing on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Now a handoff here to his running back. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Check, 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 check. 4 down.
Now it's gone. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Keanu Neal with a safety blitz for the sack. Goff and his guys not coming off the field. They're going for this. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is brought in at the 21. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Stepping up, he'll try and run. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Smith. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. 3 yards won't be enough here, as that'll bring up 4th down.
It's 4th down.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Check 4, check 4. Yeah. Check 3, check 3.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The D-tackle Sheldon Richardson came barreling in for the sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Check hot. Check third.
Throwing now is Jackson. This one caught by Ridley. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. So now Catanzaro comes on in a pressure spot. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have a little bit of time here to get in field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That could give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward, and it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off, but in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
They've got the jumbo set out there. A huge play in this overtime session. It's 3rd and inches. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Here we go. 10, touchdown. You can't block me. You can't block me. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up. Deuce.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They run the counter. It's Smith. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
In need of a 3rd and 10 conversion to keep this opening drive of OT alive.
Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it. Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
Operating from the gun, Jackson. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. A costly mistake here in OT.
And you know what they say, when you throw an interception like that in overtime, you don't usually get a chance to throw a second one. I mean, I'm not sure the analytics on it. Let's ask Marvin, our statistician, to ring that down for us. That's typically how coaches and teams feel about you. Throw one, you likely cost yourself the game. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
45, 45, 4 now.
Don't get nervous.
Joker, 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 Joker.
Now Goff with his first throw in OT. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Goff. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
We go, Todd. 120. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Hey, we go 37 to Mike. Mike 37.
2 for 1. Get the field, defense.
Hey, we go 37 to Mike. Mike 37. Turn. Hey, we go 37 to Mike. Mike 37.
A shotgun snap for Goff. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And the Saints first down.
Cut. 180.
Check back, check back.
Whip, 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 whip. 2 for 1. 2 for 1. Switch, switch, switch.
Check 3, check 3, check 3.
Cut.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Now a handoff here to his running back. Space to run past the 20. 17 there and a New Orleans first down.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
180.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
And it's 3rd down.
Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for the Saints, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?